Hello viewers, I'm happy to welcome you back to Eagle Strength TV under the umbrellas of World Bride Ministry. Today, I want to take us on an interesting teaching that have value to the present situation in the world today, which is building young one for the Lord. If there's any effort that any country, any leaders of any society should engage on vigorously, it has to be how to build our young ones. So I'm taking our Bible text from Psalm 127 from verse 1. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build this. And except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. Let's go to verse 3 to save our time. Though children are heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hands of the mighty, so are the children of the youth. Happy is the man that has his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemy in the gates. With what can be gathered from this scripture, you discover that it is not only with the world leaders, community leaders, parents that desire to have children in their world or in their family or in their abode. Not only having children in our abode, we wanted a very strong youth. So even God also desire to have youth, because God is in need of the youth to propagate his mission, to extend his work, and to preserve his ministry too. So this scripture has taught us a lot of things here. Every nations or society must build their youth, socially and religiously. If we are talking about social, that means it is a responsibility right from the smallest unit of the society, which is the family, to the larger unit of the society, with the world at large. All parents, community leaders, social leaders, religious leaders, we must build our youth morally and responsibly. Morally in the sense that there are ethics of moralities that will project every youth to be responsible and well-orientated, so that it will enhance their behaviors and their conduct into society, so that we can have a free society. Moral ethics is needed to be built in youth, and they must be trained to occupy spaces tomorrow, social spaces tomorrow, so that there will not be vacuum when the elderly one today are gone, so that the youth can readily take over the social responsibility. That is through education and what have you. Now, when you are talking about building youth, we need to build our youth so that they can, because they are leaders of tomorrow's. And building our youth properly will ensure that value or legacy, to preserve legacy. If there's any legacy that any strong men are advocating today, to preserve such a legacy, you must train your youth to take over from where you stops. If you want to preserve religious ideology, youth must be properly trained, orientated, and equipped. And even social values. Give me the best country on the world today that have the best human policies, social policies, that are developed country today. If those elderly ones are gone, by now, before their age, they must have trained their youths to be well equipped, well collected, socially and morally equipped, so that such an ideology, political ideology, party ideology, social ideology, could be preserved when their youth are properly trained to take over from where they might have stopped. So religiously as well, for us to have a free and sane society, youth must be trained properly in a religious sense. So that this religious value, if it has been imbibed in them, you will say that to have a free society, that is the all things be equal, and if the right religion is being passed across onto this youth, you discover that it will not be too far before we have a free society, because everybody will know their limits, and the value of religion has always been live and let others live. So the kind of social corruption we have today is because of the lack of religion value, the ethics of religion value that need to be imbibed in our youth. So the challenges of global youth today, if I would say, is like the challenges of roots in the Bible. We'll come back to that later. You see, it's like challenges of root in the Bible. Incidentally, root was birth let's go there. Luke chapter 3 for Bible, for emphasis sake. Luke chapter 3, then from verse 1. Now, in the book of Ruth, we understand that Naomi and her husband and the children went out from Israel to the country of Moab as a result of famine in the land of Israel. And incidentally, they find a damsel there that was married to one of the Naomi's two sons, and his name happened to be Ruth. And if you read from chapter 3 of the book of Ruth downward, you discover that Naomi, after the death of her husband and the two sons, was ready to go back to the land of Israel, because they heard that God has visited the land with a plenty, that the famine is gone in the land of Israel. He wanted to go back. But we discovered that this Ruth determined to follow her mother-in-law. So I was saying that the destiny, the way, the challenges of global youth today is like that of Ruth, because Ruth was like a wheat that was planted among tares. Was like a wheat that was planted among tares. And there's a need. And if you have a wheat that was planted among tares, and we have in the land of Israel, that is a company, is a garden of wheat, and we have tares also that was planted among the wheat. So for us to have a balanced garden, that there will not be any infiltrations of any strange wheat, whether from wheat side or from of tar side, there was transplanting. God, there's a need to move the wheat among the tares back to our company, which is among the wheat in the land of Israel. So that was what happened here. So I personally and spiritually diagnoses the global youth today, and I came up with some laboratory results which shows that our youth globally today has three major problems. And the first thing is distractions. The second one is laziness. And the third problem is the burden of predestination on them. I can come back again. I've diagnosed spiritually the state of our global youth today, irrespective of our country, continent, or states. And I came up with spiritual laboratory result which shows that the youth today globally are battling with three challenges, major challenges, which is distractions, laziness, and body of predestinations. And why am I saying this? The earlier, if you don't understand the problem, where you are coming from and where you are, you can't really fix out where you are going. Now the problem of youth, as I said, one is distractions. Our youth has been distracted. Then there are laziness on the part of our youth, and there is also burden of predestination. What I mean by burden of predestination is that there are destiny on them, and when somebody has a destiny on himself and you are not ready to walk in line with that destiny, then that means there will be a personal crisis. A lot of things will not go well until you go back to your destiny. So in the next episode, brother and sister, sure, we are going to continue from where we are. So don't forget, global youth has been diagnosed, and I came up with three laboratory results: laziness, distractions, and burden of predestination. Sure, next time we are coming to give you the best. Stay with us and God bless you. Shalom.